Well, happy Independence Day weekend, Gideon Tactical crew. Thanks for joining me on this episode where we're gonna unpack 7 of my favorite American-made blades that are just like the best. And you may be asking yourself, well, why 7? Well, 1776, that's why. We liked it so nice, we did it twice. We put that in there, and that just happened to be the year that we declared independence from British tyranny, and independence from government is a God-given right, not a right just for American citizens. So if you're watching and you are overseas, thank you so much for tuning in. And we're just gonna have a blast. We're gonna have a great time. I love doing this. I love doing videos like this. And I just appreciate you guys coming in for the video. So let's quit talking about it and let's freaking look at it. Just look at that. This is one of my faves, one of the most well-worn, well-used tools that I will never let out of my hands and out of sight. You will have to pry this from my cold, dead hands. The Essie Hungalis. Just an excellent machete, guys. It's a wilderness chopper. It's a survival knife. Coming in at 10 inches for that blade length. 3/16 of an inch thick, 1095 steel that just holds its edge forever. It's scary sharp. I've used it so many times in so many different environments. Obviously made right there in America, as you can see there. That handle is one of the most ergonomic handles on a big chopper. Many knives attempt to compete. Few can when you're talking about a machete or a chopper. It's just so ergonomic, never creates a hot spot. Nice and rounded, but not being like a broom handle. Good bird beak that's not sharp. And with that, I guess it's a flat. You can see the transition hopefully there in the light a little bit. I mean, it's almost a full flat. Precise tip, it's not overly thick. So many choppers end up being just like thick. You know, they're good for splitting wood and maybe some chopping, but that's about it. You can do finesse. Now, it's not a perfect tool. I really wish it had a choil. This knife, and maybe one day I'll buy a second one and attempt to grind in a choil and just see how that works. You know, it's fine and I can kind of choke up, but ergonomically it'd be so amazing if I could get my index finger to balance out the blade better and get my finger up there for fine work, for the fine work. That would be amazing. Pro tip here, if you want to control a knife this size, run the lanyard through your forearm up there. Then you can see there, control, and I can now do finer cuts and I basically have a small knife. So, I mean, the rule is a big knife can do what a small knife can do. A small knife can only do what a small knife can do. Kydex sheath, ambidextrous, one of the best Kydex sheaths on the market. This alone, I mean, if you got a custom guy to try and do this, it'd be over $100, and the total package is under $200. Lifetime warranty, go snap it in half, Essie will give you a new one. Amazing. So this is number 1 that I wanted to throw in on this list of some of my favorite American-made fixed blades. And guys, throughout the video, I will have links in the description below this video over to all my affiliate networks. I am a small business here. I create content every week and I love doing it. It is just one of the highlights of my life, being able to interact with you guys, talk to you about gear and equipment. And I just want to thank you so much for your support. So when a gear item makes sense for you, using those hyperlinks, and just any purchases are just amazing to do that. It helps fuel the channel, helps me continue to do what I do. We're gonna shift and go in the totally opposite direction. Woo! The ZT 0006 in CPM 3V steel, made in America, zero tolerance. This is based off of their old bayonet. I can't remember the model number off the top of my head. I think it was the 009, 0009, I don't know. Anyway, this is not a bayonet. It doesn't have a bayonet lug, but the blade is way more functional. Did a full review, just thumped on it. Look at the finish. The finish you can barely see anywhere. And I mean, I was just like exploding wood, pounding on this thing, doing everything I could with it. What I find so interesting about this tool is that it has like all of the throwbacks to like World War II and reverse, back to World War I and beyond, blade, but meaning like the handle, but that blade is like a very modern wilderness blade, but still very functional with an excellent drop for piercing, stabbing, but huge amount of belly, great edge geometry. That 3V steel is just excellently done. Great wilderness blade, but then I still have all this traction to be able to like lock in, pierce, penetrate, boom. It's got that you know, full tank construction all the way through, screwed on butt cap, G10 handle scales that don't have any sharp transitions and just feel really good. And for a knife with a guard, I can easily get up and then use it and really control it well. I can do reverse lever grips, all that stuff with it. So I mean, it's a primo tool that has the style of like an old tactical knife that can still do tactical tasks, field knife, you know, use on an LBE system in a hot zone, but you can take camping and you'll love it, which is what probably 99% of us are gonna do. You're gonna be able to get a lot of camp tasks done, thumped on it, no rattling on that guard, you know, or anything like that. I mean, it's just so good. Kydex sheath that for my retention point from mine was lackluster. I was not, see, look at this, it's still, I gotta see if I got like a bad batch because I know some people had great retention. It's okay. I'm gonna need to get a leather sheath for this. Aaron, at Houghton Air Outdoors, I'm gonna be reaching out to you for a leather sheath because I can just do that and the blade comes out. That is the one downfall. The knife is excellent. The sheath, from my model. But and it's gonna be like 300 bucks. So, I mean, it's a pretty penny, but it's just so cool. Screams capability, and I love using it. I love using it. Now, this next one, I'm so surprised that this blade gets almost no love, and I don't know why. And for years, I didn't even like really have any interest in it, and I got it, and I was like, what in the world is going on here? Now, for whatever reason, us in America, we're not huge on our Scandi grinds. You can find manufacturers who do Scandi grinds, but we really like our flats and full flats, and you know, that's what most American manufacturers are going to do with their blades. You want Scandi, you really got to go over to Europe. The Europeans really like their Scandi blades, particularly in Scandinavia. Well, Tops knives with this excellent leather sheath. So good, dangler, fire steel attach. Okay, I've had this for about 6 months, just haven't done the full review yet. The Dragonfly 4.5. It looks on paper like a small knife. This is a large. Look at how much real estate I got on that back end. That handle, so organic. I mean, they should be selling this at Whole Foods or Sprouts and Trader Joe's because of how organic that handle feels. It's so good with that micarta. It's not thin, it's not sharp, hills and valleys a little bit. I love the grip. It's not puko, but it got just enough of a guard right there. Believe 1/8 of an inch thick, if I remember correctly. The tip is just like so precise. Do not be prying with this thing. It is not designed to pry, but I mean, wicked. It does have that little secondary bevel there, like some Scandis do. And it's like 4.5 inches, obviously. So I mean, it's a large profile compared to many other Moras and you know those type of knives. Like 120 last I checked, I believe. This is just such a cool bushcraft knife. I love using it. Mainly, I mean, the blade shape is super functional. Look at that. I mean, I can like cut and carve, do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Really enjoyed using it. But it really is just the size of that handle. So many bushcraft knives, you know, they're really, you know, they're kind of a small blade, small handle. This is like XL, and it's made right here in America. Oh yeah. So an excellent choice if you're wanting a kind of a Scandi, it's a modified Scandi, but you know, like a Scandi grind, bushcraft knife. The Dragonfly 4.5 is like this under the radar stealth blade that is just like so good. I love this tool. It is a fun blade to use. Got to go back to the big blades. And this tool, and I actually have, from my understanding, one of the last 1095 versions before they flipped over to 1075. If this doesn't say America, I don't know what does. The SP10 Raider buoy from Ontario Knife Company. Oh my gosh. This thing is a monster. I believe 10 inches, might be 9 or 10 inches. 1/4 inch thick, now 1075, not bad for this size of a tool, and they do 57 to 59, I think, on the Rockwell scale, is what I remember. That's just, again, going off the top of my head. That buoy shape, I mean, that's gonna kill any animal coming at you. With 2 legs or 4, that is gonna just like annihilate. Amazing. And I think it's actually based off of the blades, I'm now buoy knife, obviously, you know, but I think because they call it the Raider, like the early 1800s and the first war that we really fought against the pirates over in the Mediterranean, Libyan pirates and things like that, is what I remember. Maybe I'm totally talking out of my butt, guys. Leave comments, let me know. Yeah, but American made, full tang. I like the tang goes through the craton handle all the way down the lanyard hole. Huge guard, but I can still, if I want to, get over it. And because of the ricossa right there, I could if I need to. And even in a hammer grip, I have decent control over it. And this is like the best part. One, the nylon sheath, decent for the price, which is, get ready for it, easily scored sometimes for 60 bucks. For this monster of an American-made blade, that is nuts. Very capable outdoor, massive tactical blade. I mean, this thing is nuts in its capability for that price point. Anywhere between like $60 and $80 is a pretty reasonable price on what you can score this tool for, which is nuts, particularly in 2023 with inflation and all the other idiocy going on in the world. So, I mean, if you want like a massive chopper and you love like that style, I mean, you whip that out at the campground and everyone is gonna run for the hills. You whip that out in, you know, a hot downrange situation, the enemy is just gonna be terrified out of their mind just because of the way it looks, and then it's gonna do the job that you want it to on top of that. Now, we'll rotate and go with another blade right here that is so unique because, and it's really gonna come down not so much to the blade, but to the handle, and we're gonna talk about this. This is the Reef Knives F4. Have had a chance to really use this on several adventures since it first came out. And this is just a very unique design, 3V steel, 5/32 of an inch thick, high flat grind, excellent relief edge, excellently heat treated, 90-degree spine, throw sparks, Kydex sheath. I believe there are leather options as well. This one, you know, you can do a fire steel in there. So lots of variety, ambidextrous, you know, there's like customizational aspects, G10 handles. Now, this is where it's gonna come down to. The thickness of this handle is excellent. And I was just messing around with some other blades in preparation for this in this kind of size range, American made 3V, and the necks are always so narrow. And for me, I don't enjoy that. And I love how the handle has been flared out near the front and kind of tapers near the back a little bit. When you're carving, where is all of your pressure? Up here, not back here, up here. This is one of the best handle designs for, you know, like belt knife, bushcraft knife, whatever you want to call it, knife. It's so well done, excellent ergonomics, 3 screws in there, milled lanyard hole, big flat pommel there. You can easily get some wrist flicks. And it's just so ergonomic. The ergonomics are out of this world on this tool. Now, these are G10 currently. I believe, if not yet, any day, there should be micarta coming versions of that. Micarta would be my preference. This isn't bad for this size a knife. You know, there's a little bit of ribbing, but maybe just even a little bit better texturing, just more texturing would have been like next level. You're gonna pay for this though. It has, you know, transferable lifetime warranty, which is excellent. But I believe this is like $330. So, I mean, it's a pretty penny for 3V steel. You can definitely find 3V steel at like, I don't know, $50 less American made, but I would argue a lot of them are they're not gonna give you the ergos. And when you're dropping over $200 on any 3V steel knife, those ergonomics better be insane. Just because the blade steel is good doesn't mean that you're gonna enjoy actually gripping and using the tool. This one absolutely does that for you. The Reef Knives F4. Excellent. 2 left for us here. The first is the Gerber Strongarm. Guys, you know, now with the price being closer to $90, like 90 to like 80 bucks is what I currently see them regularly for. I bought this knife for $55. $55. Back in the day when this first came out over 7 years ago. Almost 8 years, I think now. So, I mean, that just shows inflation, like, and almost like, I don't know what that is, a 70% increase. I don't know what the increase is, do the math, but still an excellent tool for just hard use. You know it's gonna work. So American made, lifetime warranty from Gerber. I've used that once before and they absolutely honored it. 3/16 of an inch thick, 90-degree spine, excellent. Just look at the battle scars on this. So well done. Now this has been convexed, so the edge retention is gonna be better. Now, the part of the toughness factor is because of the lower Rockwell. I believe it's like 50, is it 55 to 57? Don't quote me on that. It might be like 56 to 57. I can't remember. Anyway, on 420 HC steel, Buck usually does like 57 to 59. Or no, maybe it's just 59. Buck does 59, just to give you some perspective there. So you are gonna have to tune it up pretty regularly, but a ceramic rod is just gonna like boop, get it right back there. That saber grind, that clip, I mean, it's just bam, right there for you. Flare out, but you can easily get over that. Textured with glass reinforced, over rubberized, full tank construction all the way back to that glass breaker. You can just see there. Now, it's not a bushcraft knife by any means. I know a lot of you guys go camping with it. I have as well. But going back to that Reef, I mean, that Reef is gonna just be like way better for, like an hour of woods craft. And the edge geometry is okay, but doing your own custom kind of edge geometry will really take it to the next level and help with edge retention as well, particularly if you convex it. So excellent tool still, even at that kind of steeper price point. Also because of the completely ambidextrous sheath with all sorts of lashing options, it's excellent. So it's great to gift to somebody who's in the military or going into the military, law enforcement, or yourself, just as a go bag. I have one in my go bag all the time just because it's so bomb-proof and has a lot of crossover capability. Now, this is the last one, previously reviewed. Love this tool. Spartan partnering with K-Bar, the Harsey fighter. Took everything that the K-Bar fighting knife from like the last 80 years or so had, and then just took it to the next level. Full tank construction all the way through. Some of the best ergonomics for this kind of style of knife I've ever held. That's like Zytel, but it's ribbed and it feels like aluminum. I know that sounds crazy, but if you grip one, it almost feels like an aluminum handle scale that you would see on like, a Benchmade or something like that. It's so good. It's so ergonomic, but gives you great cut in, good blocky jimping. You're so locked in. I can chop with this thing, and you don't, because of the flare, you don't even need a lanyard. If you had to delimb something, you're making a spear, for a barricade or something. Even the ricasso is angled, so if you catch that on cordage, it slides straight into the blade, 6-inch blade, saber grind. I believe it's like 0.19 if I remember correctly. The clip is even a little bit different than your standard K-Bar. Still has that like fuller 1095 Crovan steel. So just like as a general combat knife, what we would consider a combat knife, amazing, just amazing. You got this polymer sheath, latches into place over one of those jimps, push, pull, ready to rock and roll. The sheath is made in America as well. Huge Velcro strap right there. You can unscrew it, swap it right or left. So this thing, about $125, maybe $130. I wouldn't pay more than $140 for it because you can find it for that. Amazing, amazing, amazing kind of do everything tool right there. Will definitely hold its edge better than the Gerber. I'll just run this in probably because a lot of you may be considering this, or you own the Gerber and you're considering the other. I mean, if you have the money and you are looking for something a little bit larger, the Gerber is more compact, and I like that. And I would argue it's gonna be tougher because of the steel. The grind is lower, not as slicey. You can just see there though, I mean, that is just such an excellent tool. Such an excellent tool, that Harsey fighter from Spartan in collaboration with K-Bar. So there it is, a massive dog pile of 7 amazing and some of my favorite American-made knives in existence. Leave a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think of this collection. What's one of your favorite American-made fixed blades? I look forward to reading all those comments. Appreciate you coming over today. Regardless if you live in America or not, defend your freedom, the God-given rights that the Creator has given to you. And just protect them. Protect what God has given you. Don't let people hundreds of miles or thousands of miles away from you try and take them from you. Yeah. So love you guys so much. Thanks so much for coming over. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.